Hey, good evening. We're back at the 4th Annual Music Supervisor Guild Awards. My name is Jonathan McHugh, and you are here at the winner's edition of Q-Score. And we're going to kick it off with my old friend Neil Portnow. He now runs a little organization called the Recording Academy. Neil, thanks for being here, and why'd you come out tonight?
Well, as I was telling the room, I had a brief stint in my career of actually being a music supervisor, so I understand the process, and I also made a lot of friends over those years, and as I did during my tenure at Zomba and Jive. And so not only these friends, but in terms of the skills and the service that's provided, it's unique, it's one of a kind, and frankly, without you and others that do this kind of work, movies, films, be pretty dull, pretty boring, and wouldn't be anything like what they are in terms of telling stories.
Yeah, the Recording Academy has had a great history of getting music supervisors and film and TV people involved. When I worked with you at Zomba, we got the soundtrack category passed for the first time, and then music supervisors got the right to vote. So talk about your passion for this group and how you keep helping to nurture us forward.
Well, obviously, having done the work, I have more than just sort of a passing understanding or interest. And because it's so specialized and so unique, it's a field that has to continue to grow and has to have the next generation of music supervisors. Otherwise, if this is left simply in the hands of people that make films and make television programs that don't have the musical background and the understanding and the business understanding of getting it done, we'll all be suffering greatly. So it's in our interest as an academy. And by the way, music placements in film and television are one of the key areas today for revenue generation for artists, for songwriters, for engineers, producers, everybody that does this. So it's in everybody's best interest that this be a healthy group of people. So anything we can do to be supportive is important.
And the Grammys do such great work. Obviously, it's so much more than a TV show, the 300 plus other days a year. The NARIS is out there helping to make the music world a better place to live, and also helping out with their foundations and Music Cares. Talk about some of the good work you do and why you're inspired about what you do.
Well, everybody knows us for the Grammys, and that's 3.5 hours, one day, one night a year. Everybody sort of thinks when that's over, we all go home and take a long vacation. But the reality is that the Academy has 3 charities, each of which has a different mission. And just briefly, I would say that boils down to the Grammy Foundation, which main mission is music education for young people and also preserving and archiving our recorded history. Once it's gone, it never comes back. We want future generations to have that benefit. The Music Cares Foundation, which was set up, very simple premise. If you're a musician, you're self-employed, you don't have insurance, you don't have work on a steady basis, and anything that happens in your life that is problematical becomes a crisis. So we're there. If you break your leg and you can't play the drums for a month, we'll help you out. If you have a serious problem with addiction, substance abuse, we're there to help get you in recovery, so we're saving lives. And the third organization, our newest, is the Grammy Museum, which really, it's not your father's museum, and I would call it edutainment. So you can go and learn all about the connections between things in music, but be thoroughly entertained at the same time.
It's actually the only museum where my son said to me, "Dad, do we really have to leave?" As opposed to, "Dad, do we really have to go?" It's a fantastic thing. Bob Santelli does a great job there. We just did an event there the other night. So as far as the show goes, have you guys talked in the future about, or in the past, about doing more of the soundtrack category on the show? Is that something you guys look to do sometime?
The categories are an open book every year, a fresh canvas to paint on. So we always present Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best New Artist. Beyond that, we will survey the landscape of what's happening. And in any particular year, any category can come up. We, not too many years ago, did the comedy category, which is a little bit unusual. But we looked at the nominees and thought, well, this is something we ought to do. And I think the same thing is true in soundtrack.
And this year has been a really interesting year in the mainstream, with Frozen breaking through as a rare soundtrack, and Happy, which is now the #1 record in America from Despicable Me 2, which came out 6-8 months ago. Talk about how film and TV music can get into the mainstream and what it does to to help elevate the craft?
Well, you know, it used to be that when you're selling physical records of vinyl or cassettes or CDs, there was a tremendous income stream that came from those sales that inured to the performers and the writers, but also to the record labels. So you had a real heyday of revenue, and then monies that could be spent on marketing and promoting and touring and doing all those kinds of things. Those days are not here anymore. And so with downloads and with streaming and so on, there's a vibrant market for music, but the income isn't the same. And so artists and companies have to look to other means of exploitation and exposure. There's nothing better than a movie or a television show. It used to be years ago that maybe it was thought of as being quote-unquote selling out. But when you see Bob Dylan doing a Victoria's Secret commercial, you know...
Or a car commercial.
Or a car commercial. It's in the mainstream, and it's been that way in other countries for many years, Japan especially. You could break an artist through commercials and television. Today, it's commonplace, and that's why this group here is so important too, because in their hands lies the future of breaking so many new artists, and it's important that we have a vibrant group to do that.
Yeah, we had Aloe Black open the show tonight, and he shouted out one of our supervisors who just won, Gabe Helfer, as he wouldn't be here tonight if he didn't have the big HBO show placement, How to Make It in America, which was the theme song, which is how the guy got launched, and now he's becoming a huge star. So, first of all, I just want to thank you for your support of the Guild and, you know, for getting me in the Grammys and what it's done for my life. I tell people that I was in the record business for years. Before I got it, I was in the film business, then I was in the record business, and then I got involved with the Grammys, and then I became in the music business. So stick with this guy. He's doing great things for us in the Academy, and get involved with the Grammys. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Beautiful.
For more Q-Score, please check us out at emPOWERme.tv to find out what goes on behind the curtain and how the film and TV music gets made. It happens right here. Tune in.